I don't believe in paying people in exposure. All right, red-green Eldrazi here. So, as we referred to this deck last time we played it, this deck is basically tribal 3-power haste creatures. You've got, like, Eldrazi Obligator and Gruul Spellbreaker and Bloodbraid Elf. You have slightly larger haste creature Reality Smasher at the top end. I think both Lightning Bolt and Dismember are meaningful interaction right now. This one main deck Relic's kind of cheeky. I feel like the graveyard decks have fallen off enough that it's kind of meh. But it's also kind of just like our 4th piece of graveyard hate in the main deck. And it does draw a card at worst, so it's not too terrible. One of the things that's sweet about red-green Eldrazi specifically is that in addition to this Karplusan Forest, which is basically a tri-land because colorless is effectively a color in these Eldrazi decks, we also get to play Grove for the Burnwillows. This archetype also gets to leverage Prismatic Vista here, which is sweet because this fetches our basic waste, unlike a lot of other fetch lands. So without further ado, let's dive on into a league and get a little smashy here. I feel about Eldrazi Tron now that looting's gone. I think Eldrazi Tron has always been mediocre and will always continue to be mediocre. I think Chalice of the Void is a card that's frequently bad in Modern. It was okay when Hagak was some amount of the field, and now that Hagak is gone, there's even less 1-drop spells than before. Hey, thanks for the subs yesterday, Paula. The Goblins deck is really sweet. So I think I mulligan this in the dark. We're looking for hands that have either a 1-mana Accelerant or an Eldrazi Temple, and this hand has that, so that's sweet. So we get to keep this. I'm going to go ahead and ditch Gruul Spellbreaker here. I want to keep my Dismember. If they're playing something like Tron, where Dismember doesn't have a text box, I'm going to be sad, but I think in the dark, I want to keep the Dismember. So even though this has a 3 in the converted mana cost, alongside Eldrazi Temple, this is a turn 2 play. So we'll get to go Vista into Temple, into Obligator, into Spellbreaker on 3, which is nice. Looks like Grixis Shadow most likely, which I'll be happy to have this Dismember against. Definitely leading on Eldrazi Temple. And since we drew that, if we draw a second Eldrazi Temple, we can play this on turn 2. Yeah, that's a great summary, Pelly. Looting being gone means that medium decks lose to different good decks now instead of graveyard decks. The types of decks that get a little bit better with the looting ban are decks like the blue-red Delver deck that I've been enjoying. Because that was always a deck that, like, had okay matchups against a variety of good decks in the format, but it just could never keep up with the Faithless looting decks, and it was just punting those matchups hoping to dodge them. So now, instead of just punting those, they just really don't exist, which is nice. Alright, so now a reasonable question is, I don't even think I want to attack with an Obligator here. So I think I'm actually just going to pass the turn. And I'm going to hold this for its trigger when we cast it to take control of one of their blockers, potentially. So just to give you your jargon correctly there, Kajuto, Stream Decker does work. Stream Decker is the tool that posts the deck list. Deck Master is the thing that lets you mouse over cards, and unfortunately, MTGO is a piece of software that originated in the mid-2000s, so it does not support anything like that. I need to double-check the exact dates, but I'm pretty sure that Moto can vote in the 2020 election if it wanted to. Pretty sure it's old enough to do that. June 24th, 2002. Yes, it can. Yes, it can. Hashtag Blue Wave 2020, Moto. Please do what's right for the country. You said no standard. What's that card right there? That is Modern Staple Gruul Spellbreaker. Thank you very much. So it's probably the Fatal Push. I think it's just the Fatal Push. Because it exiles it. Normally you don't want to discard the spell when they have a Snapcaster Mage, but like Thought-Knot Seer exiles it, so that's pretty okay. So, like, if they attack with this Death Shadow, am I trading Thought-Knot for Bolt plus Shadow? I think I am. I think that's a trade I'm okay with. Anoronics, thank you for the very generous tier 3 resub. I feel like this is post ban Deathrite Shaman, but not quite. I'm not mad. Yeah, the format's definitely in a... This is the fairest Modern's been since Splinter Twin was legal. It's actually really interesting. The inclusion of Stoneforge Mystic is encouraging people to put more interactive elements into their deck. But the downside when you don't hit your interaction on time isn't an infinite combo, it's just a Batter Skull, which is really sweet. Oh yeah, Obligator just kills Shadow, doesn't it? Because I'm above... Oh, I should have played Grove. Giving them life is relevant in this matchup, because it shrinks the Shadow. Are they bolting themselves? They might be bolting themselves. They need to make an equipment. Embercool, Spaghetti Hat, equipped creature gets 5/5 and Annihilator 2. Yeah, Stubborn Denial is not so good against us. So, do I kill their Shadow? I think I'm just gonna Spellbreaker as a 4/4. Is that crazy? What if I Spellbreaker as a 4/4 and then plan to Obligator take the Shadow next turn? I think I like that. Ambush Viper resolves. Dinos, 10 out of 10, Talrand. Sorry, I must have missed that one. I am really off it today. I've missed a couple. 3K for Jund Dinos with the new card we're getting back today. Sounds great. Well, I'm not sure that I really want to Grove them, right? Because I'm killing the Shadow. So if I attack like this, they draw a card. This dies here, these trade here, they go to 3. I think that's a worthwhile exchange. Oh, they take 8. Yeah, right. This is a 4/4. That's a 3/3 in my head. Really? Or do they draw a bolt? Wow, didn't draw a bolt, just wanted 1 more point of life. Weird. Feel like going to 2 and trading with the Obligators to play there. But I also don't know what's in their hand, so this leaves me 3 lethal threats. Means they're dead through a blocker. No, you could not open Frostodon while it was banned on Arena. Well, they could bolt Thought-Knot Seer. Spellbreaker only gives me hexproof. So, Bolt's pretty mediocre in this matchup. Thragtusk and Engineer Explosives are both fine. Do I want this Relic of Progenitus? Yeah, probably not. Let's just run it. Obligator is sneakily good in this matchup. The fact that it kills Death Shadow is aces. Well, most of the time it kills Death Shadow. Assuming we're not hurting too much. Man, all of these sweet night cards that are getting spoiled means there could be a sweet Knights deck in Historic as well. Because remember, what's it called? History of Benalia is rotating out. So seeing more support for cards that are rotating out is still sweet, because it means they could be relevant in the new non-rotating format. Yeah, if it doesn't kill it, we have an extra thing to attack with, exactly. I would be very surprised if they printed Stoneforge Mystic into Standard. Have we seen any core in this new set? What do you think I should be cutting instead? Spreading Seeds? Because, like, remember, sideboarding's a 1-to-1 process. So if you want to suggest I cut something, you need to recommend. You want to suggest I bring something else in, you need to suggest I cut something else as well. So turn 2 Thought-Knot Seer, turn 3 Reality Smasher. Smush, 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 smush. In the end, it doesn't even matter anymore. Matter Reshaper is a sweet draw because it means even if they Fatal Push or Bolt my Noble Hierarch, I have a turn 2 play. Are they missing a land? Nope. It might just be because there's a bunch of fairies in this set, but so far the cards I've seen spoiled have a very Shadowmoor-esque feeling to them. Assume we'll lose Thought-Knot or Smasher here. I'm doing well, Packers fan. Playing a bunch of Modern today. Have a couple of reasonable decks to start, and then Jeskai Tempo and Blue-Red Delver are 2 of my favorites in the format. I'm going to be playing one of those this weekend. I think I'm leaning towards Blue-Red currently. If we have time after 4 Modern Leagues, we're going to play a little bit of Warhammer TCG again. Huh? I think I just take their fish here. I prefer not playing the 4-mana card in traditional green Tron. You can find my preferred traditional green Tron list on my website. We actually played it somewhat recently. I think I just want to keep their threats out. Yeah, I mean, honestly, Socio Penguin, I'm aware of that. Like, if this format hadn't changed, we weren't going to be playing more of it. The morning of the ban list update, we were talking about taking a break from Modern for the foreseeable future. On this channel. Magic's all about having play patterns and decks that you enjoy, and before they banned Faithless Looting and unbanned Stoneforge Mystic, I really didn't have decks that I was enjoying in this format. That's why they unbanned Stoneforge Mystic, to keep me around? Maybe. They drew Dismember for the turn. Brutal. Reality Smasher. Smusher. It's not even that Stoneforge Mystic is one of my favorite cards, Enya. It's just a card that does good things for the format. Like, neither of the two decks I'm playing today that are decks that I enjoy contain the card Stoneforge Mystic. It's just the types of play patterns that Stoneforge Mystic encourages to have happen are so much better than the types of play patterns that are traditionally good in Modern. Wouldn't be surprised to see this get Fatal Pushed. Alright, to flip this Jace over next turn, we're ready to hit a pretty good string of whatnots to get back in this game. Like ourselves a Bloodbraid Elf here. Crank Blaststone up to 2 this turn. But they're gonna get to flashback something with this Jace, so they'll already get some value out of it. Yeah, and I don't think Modern's come back to a point where registering Remand is good. The blue-red Delver deck we're going to play today, I've actually cut the 2 Remands I played last weekend for Mana Leak, but I think as a whole, the format's definitely in a better spot. Hey, thanks for the 13 months there, Bruno. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. Yeah, Mission Briefing is the 2 UU card, Anoronics. There's a base for a Sultai Mill deck on my website, I believe. Or blue-black, one of the two. There is a mill deck on my website. They draw Gurmag Angler. They have Snapcaster. Oh, they only paid 1 mana for this, chat, right? So I can blow up Blaststone on 1 and kill it? That's how that works? Yikes. They played 2 1-drops into my Blaststone. How silly of them. How silly of them. You need to click submit enter. Oh, damn it. Accidentally closed my stream chat. Alright. I guess this redraws a card while it chump blocks. I'm gonna go ahead and crack this Blast Zone before they can flash something back with this Jace. I got a confirmation email that only top 1,000 qualify for the MCQ, even though the article said top 1,200. Maybe the top 1,200 doesn't take effect until next year. Because the article where it talked about top 1,200 was an article discussing organized play for next year. Yeah, is it not top 1,200 till next year? That would make sense. Hey, Nomad. I day 2'd GP Hartford last year with this pile. What's going on? Hey, deck's okay. I think I'm going to go ahead and jump with this, mostly because I want to draw a card. And this draws a card when it dies. Looking for something more powerful than a Matter Reshaper? Like a Bloodbraid Elf. Bloodbraid Elf is like a Matter Reshaper that comes with a friend. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. Spin, 2, win. 1 Witch Member, please. Papi! Papi! We do have Eldrazi Obligators in our deck. And we did kill a Death Shadow with it in game 1. Listen, chat, Magic's really easy when you're lucky. That's all I'm gonna say. Now they could, if they have like a bolt here, they could bolt themselves and we could be in trouble, but is what it is. Oh, they're gonna snap Dismember. I knew about this snap. I wasn't thinking about snap Dismember. Huh? Yikes. Can you send it on Discord, Anner? I don't actually control my Twitter firsthand anymore. Christy does it as my social media person. So, just for your message will get to me more consistently on Discord. Thank you. Alright, so we have to chump block this turn. But a good Bloodbraid Elf spin next turn could win the game. But pretty unlikely. That's bold. Like, even if we had dismembered the Gurmag Angler, we're still in a pretty bad spot here, right? Yeah, and we're not beating double Snapcaster Mage regardless of what we dismember. I'm gonna snap Fatal Push here and kill my Bloodbraid and then attack for a lethal amount. Do I want these bolts? At the very least, one's probably better than that. Thragtusk versus Bolt. I think I'd rather have Thragtusk. With Explosives coming in with the gold to blow on 1, I'm going to cut a couple of the Mana Dorks, I think, and leave a couple extra bolts in. Same thing with that Blast Zone. Killing our own Dorks while we kill their Shadow is not ideal. Is beating Snapcaster Mage with Relic too cute? Yeah, I think so. Like, the opponent's deck puts so many cards into their graveyard, and like, looking at that game, think about how often we were going to be able to hold up a mana. So like, the single activations don't do a whole lot, and you're not holding up mana very frequently. That seems a little slow. But I'm not a huge fan of taking mulligans against the deck full of discard spells, because, like, if I mulligan for a hand with earlier plays, they're just going to Thoughtseize me and disrupt my curve anyways. So, Cards like Thoughtseize, Inquisition, Thought Erasure, these are cards that discourage you from making good decisions and encourage you to keep medium hands and just hope to get lucky. They're cards that increase the variance of Magic by a good margin. Dauber, let's get you a sword to go with that shield. Thank you very much and welcome back. I appreciate you keeping me around. Hope you're having a good one. Huh? So do I want to attack, or do I want to play a 4/4? I think I want to just run them down. Just hope they don't have a shadow here. Hey, Gendy, thanks for the 7 months. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. Happy Wednesday. We just rolled past 63,000 followers on the channel. That's a big number. We are the 3rd most followed Magic dedicated channel on Twitch, behind Newmont and Gabby Sparts. Yay, metrics. Yeah, it's like doubled in the last year, Anner. I think Sully Gnome has the metrics, but I think it's like close to 30,000 in the last year. Arena propped up the popularity of Magic. Who'd have guessed? Who'd have guessed? More followers than Watsy. I don't think that's true. Pretty confident that's not true. I guess I should specify individuals. Yeah, the official Magic channel has 300,000 people on it. Hey, Togobogle, thanks for the biddies. I appreciate it. That's weird. It didn't do the 10%. Do you need to do some kind of special cheer to get the bonus? I'm gonna take a screenshot and send it to my guy and ask. I didn't think I read the September article. I don't think it said you needed to do something special to get the bonus. Does anybody know? You have to use the subway thing? Does it say that in the article? No, so there's supposed to be a bonus for cheering. Yeah, I'm gonna. That's not what it says in the article. So here's the article that I was emailed. It says bonus bits. Subway is throwing 10% bits when you cheer 10 or more on any affiliate or partner channel. There's even a limited time sub sandwich cheer emote. Because the details here that they emailed out doesn't say that you have to use the special one. Alright, so I have Blast Zone to kill this Death Shadow, but the board's pretty gummed up at this point. I think I'm just gonna Bloodbraid Elf and hope to hit a Dismember to kill this Gurmag Angler. Get some more friends. Yeah, it looks like you have to use the Subway Cheer mode to get the extra bits, but it also doesn't say that in the article. So I'm gonna message my rep. Yeah, like most things in life, legit Reaper, getting recognition and promotion for things with large companies isn't generally determined by how good you are at what you do. It's determined by who you know and who likes you. So the Blast Zone lets us clear out the Death Shadow eventually. I might wait. I've been waiting to deploy the Blast Zone to encourage them to play out a second Shadow so I can possibly get a 2-for-1. You know, I actually read an interesting thing about why Quiznos went out of business the other day, or largely went out of business. Apparently they were terrible to their franchisees. They dictated, like, what they were allowed to sell things for, which hampered profit margins. Like, to the point where, like, most of them went bankrupt, the people that had Quiznos franchises. Yeah, it's just how it is, J Denzet. At the end of the day, the community is very good to me and keeps me graciously employed here. I'm pretty sure I'm the most subscribed to Magic person on Twitch, and I'm one of the most watched Magic people on Twitch. So like, it's hard to complain too much. To quote John Oliver, if Business Daddy doesn't love me, I'll still survive. So, I think we just take a peekaboo upstairs and see what's going on. Yeah, they're probably trying to set up a Battle Rage kill, which, getting this Thought-Knot Seer, I guess they looted away a Battle Rage. They could snap it back later, though. Let's take a peekaboo. Getting some information here will make our decision-making process moving forward much easier. Well, Jace isn't a surprise Battle Rage, though. Like, Battle Rage is much better at instant speed after I've declared no blockers. Like, if they Battle Rage pre-combat, it's a lot less good. Don't they know about Blast Zone from Stirrings? Oh, you're right. They totally do. It was in the revealed cards. I'm so used to Arena where, like, the revealed cards have the eye on them in your hand. That's a good call. I've actually learned a lot in this channel. My first modern deck was Green Black Elves, and you were the first to use my actual money to subscribe to. Well, thanks for the support, Zet. And there's not really much drama. It's just like a point of fact, you like have to be a certain size. Like you have to be like Tolarian Community College big before, like, you can be critical of WotC and still get stuff from them. Like, I'm pretty sure they don't really like him either. He's just too big to ignore. Because as a metrics comparison example, me being one of the most followed channels on Twitch, my Twitch follower count at 63,000, that's like a quarter of the YouTube subs that Tolarian has. He's huge. All of these cards suck for me. Yeah, I think we're dead here. I guess maybe we could steal it. Maybe. Are we just dead to this battle rage? Might just be dead to this battle rage. How close might CC? Not close. Not close. You could maybe, I wouldn't be surprised if the amount of minutes I have watched in a month is comparable to TCC though. Because he makes a lot of shorter videos, whereas like, I produce a large volume of content, right? Like, in any given month, my Twitch and YouTube channel combined have somewhere between like 16 million and 20 million viewer minutes watched of Magic content. Which I would bet probably makes me one of the most watched Magic channels on the internet. I agree with a lot of the stuff TCC posts. I wasn't, people that have watched know he posted a video on the historic announcements yesterday that I didn't really agree with. His takes on the historic announcement aligned with the community a good deal, and I feel pretty differently. Mostly because in addition to giving positive feedback, Jay the Beard, I also give feedback when they mess things up. So like, I actually had a phone call with someone at Wizards of the Coast at one point to talk about my position with them, and they cited a tweet where I said I was disappointed in a decision that they had made, and they were very upset that I used the term disappointed to describe a decision Wizards had made. And I was like, oh. It was like, I've been like plenty brass and rude at various points over the years. So like, if they had just been like, Jeff, you're like, if they like pointed something genuinely offensive that I had did, I'd have been like, yeah, that makes sense. But like, I couldn't use the word disappointed to describe a decision you made that was disappointing. Okay. I think we're just dead to this Thought-Seize plus Battle Rage, right? They flashback Battle Rage. This is a 9/9. I block. No, I guess I'm technically not dead on board, right? So they Battle Rage this. I block here. I take 15. I block here. I go to 1. Yeah, I agree, Paula. And like at that moment, it really made me realize that the problem wasn't me, it was them. And like, while it's disappointing to like be on the outside looking in some situations, like not getting the fancy gingerbread cookie that they sent to a bunch of people, like at the end of the day, I'm happy with the decisions that I made. I can live with me and the decisions that I've made. Let's put that one in my hand. Do I want to put that one in my hand? If I put it in my hand, they can flashback Thought-Seize. I think I put this in my hand and force them to flashback Thought-Seize. So they have Culligan's Command, Death Shadow, and then one card I don't know in their hand right now. What? Wait, did they forget it? I think they forgot about the Blast Zone, chat. I think they forgot about the Blast Zone, chat. You're officially the longest relationship of my adult life. Make of that what you will. Well, thanks for keeping me around. I appreciate it. Welcome back. I'm just gonna do this. Nah, I'm just gonna do this now so I don't get, like, randomly stifled or something. I'm just gonna do this now so we don't get randomly stifled. It looks like Team Rocket's blasting off again. Yep. Pew pew. So their hand is Culligan's Command, and then one card we don't know. They have a Jace with access to Thought Seize, Lightning Bolt, Fatal Push, and Teamer Battle Rage. So I assume we'll see them pick Shadow back up, play Shadow, but then they're dead to this Obligator, which is known information. Yeah, I almost conceded this game. The advantage bar was a wild trip. Just for reference, how much would WotC have to pay you to make you a good little streamer? There isn't a dollar amount that I'd take for that. My integrity is worth a lot. The freedom to speak my mind is worth more than they can pay me. As long as the community, yeah, let's be honest, there's a number, but it's way more than they're willing to pay. The price of my integrity is high. The price of my integrity is high. So taking Gurmag Angler is lethal, right? They block this, they take 4. No, let's be honest. I'd do it for 7 figures. I'd do it for 7 figures. I don't need 8. I'm reasonable, okay, chat? I would completely sell out for 7 figures. It's a lot of money, yeah. Anybody tells you they won't, anybody who tells you something like that they won't do, it's just like they just haven't been offered a high enough number. Yeah, plus the 10% for the Subway emote, exactly. Andre, thank you for the brand new Twitch Prime support. There's a lot of great people making a lot of great stuff right now. Thanks for supporting mine this month with that. Thanks everyone for staying out here today, by the way, on one of our all modern days. If you're a new viewer, my name is Jeff Hoagland. I stream Magic full-time here on Twitch. We do some Magic Online with Modern or Legacy every single morning. We also do Arena frequently in the afternoons, though we're taking a little bit less Arena while we're waiting for rotation to happen. It is currently September, so if you're someone who's thought about subscribing to my content in the past and you haven't yet done so, new subscriptions are half off between today and the 24th. So you can subscribe to my content for just $2.50 for the first month. Appreciate to all my subs out there who keep me employed. I'd also like to shout out a couple of my wonderful sponsors here really quick. The Nerd Rage Gaming Championship Series, a $5,000 cash tournament series that happens every single month in the Midwestern United States. If you can't make it up to Midwest to play in one of their standard, modern, or legacy tournaments, sure check out their streaming coverage as well at twitch.tv/NRG series. Aardvarks! Thanks for the 11 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. BCW supplies are the sleeves that you hear on my cards that I'm shuffling with some frequency here while I sit here and play. If you head on over to bcwsupplies.com, you can use code Jeff10 to save 10% on sleeves, binders, deck box, and all sorts of other fantastic gaming accessories with them. Cardsphere.com is the wonderful peer-to-peer trading network that would love to help you turn your cards into other cards directed to other players. There's no haggling, and they just take a 1% fee off the top. Let's head on into our next match here with Red Green Eldrazi. Hopefully this match goes faster than the last one. Like, this is one of the tough parts about doing Moto content. We might not get through all 5 matches with this deck because that first match, because our opponent took 21 minutes, we spent like over 30 minutes playing the first match just because our opponent took so long to make all their choices. Crazy deck! Thank you for the very generous tier 2 resub. I've never subbed to anyone this long, but you deserve it. Thanks for all the content. Be sure to take a peek at the deck queue and let me know if there's anything there you'd like to see a little bit sooner. You're also welcome to hold on to your tier $2 if you want to prefer to bump up something once we get cards from the new set spoiled. I'm not going to run the Twitch Prime shill every commercial break during September because the September break takes a little bit longer to talk out the details. I don't want to take entirely huge breaks. Okay. In the end, it doesn't even matter anymore. Get that Reshaper in there. Next turn, we can play a Smasher off the top. We can also Stirrings into a Thought-Knot Seer, which is great. Smells like Stoneforge Mystic. Oust. We got ousted, chat. Oust kind of implies they're a more controlling version of Jeskai, I think. There was a Thought-Knot Seer in there, but I think it's better to play the threat I can cast this turn. Hopefully they're a deck with creatures, so these Dismembers have text boxes. How long till this card rotates out of Modern? Never? Oh, wait, it was never. Never was the answer. Never was the answer you're looking for. Bant Vanavir has been the most enjoyable Stoneforge deck that I've played so far. Teferi, Hero of Hearthstone, is here to stay in the Moderns. It's the part where they Restoration Angel me. Why not Bolt there? Because I want to attack this. If they Restoration Angel me, I'm a little bit sad. But here's what it is. 4 colors. Why do we call him Hero of Hearthstone? Because he removes the ability to play at instant speed. He effectively makes you play Hearthstone. Wow. I don't know. I'm going to concede. We're going to be pressed for time in this league anyways, and there's no way we're beating this much removal with a hand this bad. Yeah, four color Smiting Helix control. There aren't any copies of 6 mana Ugin in this deck, which probably makes this matchup a little bit harder for us. Let's cut these Witch Members. I really don't have extra cards in my sideboard for this, huh? It's like 2 Thragtusk as extra threats and that's it. Yikes. Everyone's streaming Modern. Yeah, I mean, it's not about MTGA specifically so much as the current standard format. Oh, also, MTGA is going into downtime in 30 minutes. So even people that want to be streaming Arena are probably won't have that option for like the next 3 hours. Because 3 hours of downtime on a weekday morning US time is apparently how we're going to manage it. You know. You know. There's downtime because they're unbanning Frostodon. Don't say you're disappointed if you ever want to work with WotC, though. Don't do it. Yeah, that's true. We should count ourselves lucky. At least this time, they had the decency to not have Moto have simultaneous downtime with Arena. At least I get to be here. At least I get to be here actually still working. I mean, so like part of the reason for that hype to def, I'm sure, is because Wizards probably doesn't think they stand to make much more money by actually working with me, right? Like, regardless of if Wizards ever works with me, I'm gonna be here streaming, right? Like, I'm not someone that's like using Magic to springboard into a different game. Like, Magic's the game that I love playing, and regardless of what amount of money it pays, I'm gonna be streaming some amount of Magic. Watcher for tomorrow. It's so weird these cards enter tapped. I could attack both of these at Teferi to guarantee he dies, but I think I want to send this at them since they're down to 12 already. Yeah, I mean, I definitely don't have any need for them, right? Hype 2 Def? Like, to be blunt, they pumped $2 million into the MPL and couldn't turn most of them into reasonable streamers, right? So, like, what are they gonna do for me? Like, they very clearly don't get what's going on. And, like, what are the important things to be doing? I've been successful without their pile of money. Alright, I should actually attack with this before I pop the Relic, because if they want to triple block this, I want to exile this other Seasoned Pyromancer so they can't make tokens with it. Yeah, I think the triple block here is pretty likely. So that's fine. Reed gets similar numbers to what I do. Weird that they fetched in response to lose another card out of their bin. Obligator's a sweet hit. They're also at 5 now, which is a convenient number for my Reality Smasher deck. They have triple blue up here, so we could be getting Cryptic Commanded. Alright, I'm gonna lead on this, I think. I'm gonna lead on this, because if they Cryptic Command this, Obligator gets to hit them. Wouldn't it be too surprised to see this get, like, pathed in response? Gifts ungiven in response? Yikes. I would, in general, Tori, ask that we don't criticize specific individuals. Please and thank you. There's a lot of personal preference in who people like to watch. If you give constructive and specific feedback, I'm pretty okay with that. But just general, like, they're bad or they're boring, let's avoid things like that when talking about other streamers. Yeah, no worries. Yeah, I cut my teeth streaming Magic Online, right? And like when I'm streaming Magic Online, if I'm not talking, there's literally no audio. And that's a big part of why other streamers stream with music, is because streaming with music allows them to fill dead time where they don't have to actually be making content. The music that they're streaming that they're not supposed to be most times is content for them. That's a gifts pile. All right. So I think I put Sun Titan and Pyromancer into the bin, and then I plan to exile and Burial Rites. Yeah, I think I ditch these two, and then I give them okay. So put these two in the bin, and then we'll exile and Burial Rites. I do think it gets better to fill that silent time when you have high viewers since you interact a lot. Yeah, but, oh no. Oh no, they have Felidar Guardian too? Their deck is way sweeter than ours, chat. Their deck is way sweeter than ours. Are we dead? I think we might be dead. So like I have to exile one of these, otherwise no they're not, because this only costs 3 because it untaps a land. Yeah, I have to take Saheeli or Guardian because they'll play Felidar Guardian, blink a land, and then play Saheeli. So what happens if I put them to 2 by playing this, and they Unburial writes back Sun Titan next turn. Sun Titan gets Seasoned Pyromancer. Seasoned Pyromancer makes 2 tokens. I roll over and I die. Yeah, I'm gonna concede. Their deck is awesome. That's fantastic. I mean, a lot of the time when I'm engaging with chat, I'm skipping talking about things that are happening in the game too. Like most games of Magic have a lot to talk about. Why'd you keep? Why'd you sequence your land that way? Etc, etc, etc. Phyrexian Fox, thanks for the 20 months of support. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. For 4 colors Saheeli, right? No, we were undefeated. We won our first match. We beat Shadow. So we're 1-1 now. 1-1. Eh, sounds great. How are we liking this deck so far? It's okay. I think this deck, the interaction, this deck suffers from the same problem that a lot of these blue-red decks, or these red-based decks suffer from, in that the matchups where your lightning bolts are not meaningful interaction, you tend to struggle because you don't really have interaction outside of lightning bolt. Elvish Reclaimer, thank you for the brand new tier 1 sub. I appreciate that. Thanks for keeping me around. Like this is gonna be a good example. I don't really have any meaningful land interaction in my deck, so I assume we're just gonna get run down here. Like my turn 2, 3-2, turn 3, 4-4, turn 4, 5-5 with haste is like too slow and fair. Yeah, but like that didn't just happen, Drakenstern, right? Like the people that are here and in franchise, like they stayed here initially for a reason, right? Yeah, I'm just gonna concede this match and play another one. Our deck just doesn't have tools to be competitive in this matchup. When it draws to, the problem is like, when it draws to Eldrazi temples, it's not even busted, it's just like appropriately powered. Makamook! Thanks for keeping on with that tier 1, I appreciate it, welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. Yeah, I think there's also a number of people like Thunderwunk who, because I'm willing to engage in, there's a lot of Magic people that they enjoy, but I'm willing to engage in specific topics that other people won't touch with 10-foot poles. And for those of you who don't know what I mean by that, Orange Man bad. I recently started watching a this YouTube channel. The guy's name is Cody something. It's called Some More News. And he does pretty reasonable news pieces. And one of the things that he brought up recently is that during the Cody Johnson, yeah, that's the one. During the 2016 election, there was more coverage in total written about Hillary Clinton's one scandal, her emails, than in total about all of Trump's scandals. Because a lot of networks try to be fair and balanced, and in an effort to be fair and balanced, they often end up actually not being so. Hey, glad you enjoyed it, Makuki. Yeah, a lot of people said they liked the silent videos. Yeah, we're definitely just like getting smashy here, right? It's a little bit scary to get smashy against the Death Shadow deck, but with a Lightning Bolt and another Haste Creature, I think we're in a good spot. Is the slow voice thing what slow voice thing? I'm just talking. Man, all the awful conspiracy theories surrounding Epstein, the Epstein dying, were so wild. Like, these people. One of the better memes I saw was Bill Clinton couldn't get away with a blowjob, but you think he killed someone in maximum security prison. Like that's the story we're going with. Got it. That's the mastermind you think he is. So Noble Hierarch lets Gruul Spellbreaker attack in for 5 here, right? Which is sweet. And they either trade with one of their 5/5 Seer or they die to Lightning Bolt. So that leaves us in an okay spot. So I get to trade this Spellbreaker for Gurmagingler here. Do you have Force Negation? That's not a card these Shadow decks usually play. You've made your bed, opponent. Lie down in it. Lie down in it. They were probably just, I mean, taking the hit there is not terrible. They probably have Battle Rage and we're going to kill us on the backswing. This is how we boarded last time, and I think I'm happy with it. Thragtusk, extra 5 power blockers for the fish. Engineered explosives to kill Death Shadow. Sounds good. Oh, I'm sure there's a ton of conspiracy theories out there. Who knows? It could also just be a genuine case of incompetency, though, too. Like, Hallen's Razor very much applies. I fear for Standard and Diamond I won 4 matches in a row with Ashiok plus Fall of the Thran. Listen, a broken clock is right twice per day. Would I take a build around for Modern Tribal Knights if we got more decent Knight cards? No. I would take a build around for Historic Knights, though. Knights is probably going to be a sweet archetype in Historic. Things like Tribal Knights are too slow and clunky for Modern. It would just be another deck with 8 1-mana discard spells, hoping that those are good enough to prop up your otherwise bad win condition. Alright, bottom Lightning Bolt here. His hand is a good curve, just like 2, 3, 4. I'm gonna lead on this, even though I drew this on the off chance I draw a another temple, so I can turn 2 Thought-Knot Seer. Now the real question is, I might not want, even if they leave me this Obligator, I might not want to play it on 2, just because hammering their health total for them lets them get to shadows sooner, and Eldrazi Obligator potentially kills their shadows later if we're above 13 or above. Not surprised to see Thought-Knot go away. I'm just going to go ahead and stir here. So, remember, unlike Arena, you can play whatever you want in Paper. So if you want to play Historic, don't let anybody tell you otherwise. Get a group of friends together, tell your LGS you all want to play Historic, and I'm sure your LGS is going to be willing to host whatever you're willing to pay them money to play at their store. We get Snap Thoughtseize here. We're going to be a little bit sad. Just a fish. Deal. Yeah, the start point for Historic is the current sets on Magic Arena. My LGS has us raise our hands for each format. Each one that gets 8+ people has played. That's such a great way to do it. That is an excellent way to do it. Tradesies? Look, they played a 3-mana 5/5. I played a 3-mana 5/5. I doubt there'll be digital-only Historic cards in ya. They actually clarified on one of their streams that they won't be printing genuinely new cards for Historic. No Kaladesh, no older sets. This is the updated. Helps if I spell it right. Here's the announcement with the details for Historic if you didn't see it. What you doing, opponent? They know about Obligator, they don't know about Bloodbraid Elf. And we can Obligator, steal something, or play Bloodbraid Elf next turn. Those are both on the table. Modern is wildly more popular than Standard. The only reason Standard is more popular on Twitch is because Modern doesn't exist on Arena. For people who aren't familiar with why I'm saying that, the past 6 SCG tournament weekends, they run a Standard and Modern Classic with identical prizes and entry fees on Sunday. The Modern Classics averaged 89 more players over 6 events than the standard events did. This past weekend on Magic Online, there was a Modern MCQ and a Standard MCQ on Saturday, Sunday. The Modern MCQ had over 400 people. The Standard MCQ had 160. Oh, I guess with that, I guess they can bolt me and keep their shadow alive here. They have 4 cards in hand. Nope, shadow's dead. So now they need a removal spell here. I guess Snapcaster Mage also works. They can go to 3. So what you're saying is, if I feel like I'm better at Standard, I should play... Yeah, definitely. The standard events are easier to spike because they're much smaller. The standard event on Magic Online had 8 rounds. The modern event had 10 rounds. And on Magic Online, just like those classics that SCG runs, there were identical entry fees and prizes. So the 400 player modern event and the 160 player standard event both only paid out prizes to 32 players. You wanna talk about rake? WotC took in $12,000 in entry fees for the modern MCQ, and they paid out digital product to everyone except the first place player who got an invite to the Pro Tour. No, but that's just it, Axe. Even when Hagak was legal, those 6 modern events I looked at, those were when Hagak was legal. Did you not hear what I said, Crazy Duck? And that's the other thing. People, yeah, when Hagak was legal, the modern events were still averaging more players than the standard events. Straight up. There's a reason why when you look at the SCG tour schedule that their independent paper circuit, the circuit that's trying to make money on its own and not just promote Magic, they run way more modern tournaments than standard tournaments. That's why Wizards is going to, for people who are new to Magic with Arena, that's why Wizards is charging a premium for Historic. They know they can. They know that probably regardless of what they charge, Historic is likely going to be wildly more popular than Standard if they give it any amount of support on Arena. Yes, humans are creatures of habit, and Magic players like to play their deck. I completely agree. Reddit told me Historic is DOA. Yep, Reddit has a lot of bad opinions on a lot of things. I think there's a lot of people that are responding to that announcement that don't understand the historical data associated with it. As someone who Wizards literally doesn't work with because I crap on them sometimes, they made the right decision here. They know what they're doing. It's perfectly fine to say you're not happy with their decision and you wish it was cheaper, but the people who are like, they're making this decision and it's stupid and it doesn't make any sense, those people are very wrong. The decision makes complete, perfect sense. Wizards knows what they're doing, and they're making a decision that's going to impact their bottom line in a positive way. This is pretty good. The Tron matchup's probably hard for this deck, but this draw on the play might be able to get us there. Yeah, they're not going to have Tron until 4, so hopefully they're just dead here. As far as I know, Wizard of the Coast has not posted the time for their stream. That's a lethal bolt, right? Just good clean turn 4 kill here. So, fun fact. Crumble to Dust is devoid, so you can find it with Ancient Stirrings. The more you know. I'm going to cut Matter Reshaper. It's kind of slow in this matchup. Now, I think I'd rather have Bolt than Abrade. You'll note that I'm bringing in Unravel the Aether, even though I'm not bringing in Abrade, because Unravel the Aether shuffles the artifact back into their deck, so it takes Wormcoil off the table without giving them tokens. That's the important distinction there. This hand's pretty slow on the draw. But I'm keeping it because it's got double Crumble. I'm actually going to throw a Crumble back because I probably don't need to. Who's got 2 thumbs and concedes to Karn Liberated? This guy right here. All right, so I'm bottoming Blast Zone here, I think. If we're a true professional, we'll draw Eldrazi Temple on 2. Hey, good luck, Blake. Thanks for using the Subway emote cheer for the extra 10%. Is that like a Planeswalker deck card? Because that card's not very good. Is that what that is? Like a Planeswalker deck card? That's really unfortunate. Need to draw a land there. Well, oh, you know what? They're on Karn the Great Creator. Maybe I should be bringing in Abrade. Because I need Abrade to beat Ensnaring Bridge. Please just be Walking Ballista. Please just be Walking Ballista. Deal. So Noble Hierarch's dead. Land, please. So to crank this to a 4/4 next turn. If I can hit an Eldrazi Temple, Eldrazi Obligator will kill the Walking Ballista next turn, which is sweet. So, we weren't just dead to Lattice, but Ensnaring Bridge messes us up, Brad. And I didn't board in the Abrades, I only had one Unravel. So, like, while I could have boarded, well, I definitely should have boarded an Abrade because of Karn the Great Creator. I think in general that matchup's pretty bad for us. I don't think this deck's very good in general. I think what it's doing in terms of putting creatures into play tends to be too slow and fair for this format. And your matches where Lightning Bolt's not meaningful interaction, you tend to just, like, be a huge dog in. So, I think this deck's cute. I think if your desire is to cast Thought-Knot Seers and Reality Smashers, in general, I'd recommend playing Bant Eldrazi, just because Bant Eldrazi has Stubborn Denial and Path to Exile, which allow you to have a little bit more powerful removal in general. There is a green-white Eldrazi deck that had some success at the SCG tour this past weekend. I haven't played that yet, but it has a lot of similar things to Bant Eldrazi, so I imagine it's probably pretty okay. I am 2 episodes into Carnival Row, and yeah, it seems pretty reasonable.